He's the Chief Visionary Officer and founder of BNI, the world's largest networking organization that has over 8,500 chapters worldwide. I'm delighted to welcome back and continue to have a conversation with Dr. Ivan Misner on Small Talk. I'm your host, Javed Khan. Ivan Misner, welcome back once again to Small Talk.
It is fantastic to be on. Thanks for inviting me back.
I'm telling you, it's always exciting to have conversations with you, Ivan. And this time around, and we've talked, folks, about a number of topics, and certainly go back to the previous shows, or if you listen to the show on a podcatcher, you can find us on iTunes and SoundCloud. Go back and listen or watch these various segments. And by the way, Ivan's got this is not all what Ivan has. Go to ivanmisner.com and you'll see and not only his podcast, but his material, all kinds of stuff. But today, Ivan, this show, we're going to talk about mistakes and what are these big networking mistakes we all, you viewers, and sometimes myself included, not sure about you, Ivan, but certainly me, what kind of mistakes are we making when it comes to networking?
Yeah, you know, so at least one of these, I'm going to give you four, at least one of them I was guilty of at one point. So
okay.
Here's four, I call them desperate networkers. And these are techniques you don't want to do, okay? So here's the first desperate networker. I call them the card dealer. So they're the person who's going to networking meetings and they're saying, oh, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card, and they're just like handing out cards as though they're dealing a deck of cards to people. And they're not actually having conversations with people. Networking is about building relationships with people and getting to know people. A good networker has two ears and one mouth and should use them both proportionately. It's like you interviewing me, you're an interviewer and you're asking me questions and you're letting me go on and talk about it. That's what a good networker is. It's not being a card dealer. So that's the first one. Okay. Don't be a card dealer. It's okay to hand out your card, but first, like maybe talk to them for a while first.
Now, let me ask you on that point though, Ivan, let me ask you, because I've heard this a few times about, and I love this, don't be a card dealer, or I hear about, collecting cards as if they're like baseball or hockey cards.
Yeah.
Most. Let me ask you this though. I have read and seen some and watched some videos around people saying only take so many cards to a networking event.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea to take only a certain number of cards.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I think it is a massive mistake to ever run out of cards. So I keep cards in my briefcase. I keep them in my left pocket of my coat. I keep them in my wallet. I keep them in the glove compartment of my car. Because the one thing I'd never want to do is say, look, I'm sorry, I don't have a card. That's like networking 101. Always have a card. Now, you don't always have to hand it out, but always have it.
Got it. Okay.
All right, so here's the next one. I call it the space violator.
Okay.
Okay. You've met this person. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
They talk to you like this. They're like completely
hey, how you doing?
In your face. Yeah. And you're like, and when they talk, inevitably they, just spit a little and it's like, oh, God, really?
Yeah.
And I have had conversations with people and I've got a drink in my hands and they're like, and I have literally kind of covered up my glass while they're, so be cognizant of how close you get for no other reason than, your breath might not be as good as you think. And so don't violate people's space. Now that varies. Space varies. There's actually a lot of research on this and it's called proxemics and it's the distance between people. That's one of the elements of proxemics. In North America, the common distance is about arm's length.
Okay. So
if you're roughly arm's length, you're okay. If you're getting close, you better know that person a little better than you might, than you would with just like a stranger.
So now let me ask you before we get to number 3.
Yeah.
Let me ask you on that point. Once again, there's been conversations around, if you're in a room where there's a lot of noise, lean in to have that conversation. because it's noisy and you really can't hear.
Right.
So therefore, people think maybe get closer or lean your body in.
You might, yes. And so that is an exception, but here's what I recommend you do.
Yeah.
Instead of getting in face to face, lean in with your ear.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that you show that you're trying to hear what they're saying,
yes,
but you're not eyeball to eyeball.
Right.
And it makes
and I would think one of the logical is, hey, Ivan, it's quite loud here. Why don't we go out and have the conversation?
I've done that. Let's go sit over in the corner or whatever where it's a little quieter. Yeah. Okay. So here's number 3.
Yep.
Almost every new person in networking does this one. It's the person guilty of premature solicitation, which you don't want to say fast 3 times. That'll get you in trouble. But that's where, hey, nice to meet you. My name's Ivan. Let's do business. Yeah. Or here's 4 copies of my business card. Maybe you can refer me to people that need my service. And I'm like, I don't even know you.
Yes.
I don't even know you. I'm not going to refer you. Yes. So that treating networking like a face-to-face cold calling opportunity.
Yes.
Bad. And I'm afraid when I started, I was guilty of that. Yep. I used networking as a face-to-face cold calling. And I learned through trial and error that it's really all about building relationships.
Right.
Here's number 4. I call these the 4 desperate networkers. The new best friend. The person you meet who is now your new best friend. And you pretty much recognize that they really just want you to do business with them.
Right.
And to me, listen, desperation is not referable.
Right.
And so when you're coming across as desperate and the new best friend, then that's a problem. I literally had a guy once who I met him at a business meeting. He called me like 2-3 times that week. He emailed me multiple times. And when he sent me an email that said, I feel like I'm your son.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, whoa. I don't even know you.
Yeah.
We barely know each other. I mean, it'd be one thing to say, you're my mentor. I really appreciate but you're my son. Nice. It's like, okay, maybe a little over the line.
Yeah.
So don't be, don't, especially when you're networking up.
Yeah.
Don't puppy dog lick people.
Yeah.
You're fantastic.
Now, folks, those who are following this conversation just realize, wait a minute, what's networking up? Go to one of our segments with Ivan. The whole segment was all around, the whole show is around networking up. Right. And Ivan, just briefly, these are networking up means you are now networking or having conversations with people at as you would say, at a different level, right? Like the Ivan Misners or,
well, you're very kind, but people who you might feel are more successful than you are. Right. And you, for whatever reasons, you feel like you're networking up. It's like you're fighting above your weight class. You're wrestling above your weight class. Right. And so when you're doing that, what you want to do is to try and find value add. Don't try to be their new best friend.
Wow. And, and even those, and I would imagine from your experience, people wanting to network up to connect with you, I would imagine now at your level, Ivan, you smell that and you see that like right away. Like people try to
see that all the time. and it happens particularly online. You know, I like LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn, but I get so many people on LinkedIn. As soon as they connect with me, then immediately they're like, hey, I'd love to show you my product or my service. And I'm like, I don't even know you.
Wow.
We don't even know each other. And what I usually do is I send them to an article I've written on VCP. Credibility, profitability. And I say, read this article, do what this talks about, and maybe we can have a conversation again later. And 99 times out of 100, they never get back to me. I have had actually a couple people get back to me and say, got it. I screwed up. I'd love to connect with you at some later date. Let me follow what you're doing. And there are a couple of people that I now have a friendship or relationship with who started with that premature solicitation and that puppy dog thing.
Oh, wow.
And wow. So, yeah, it can happen. But I send that article, the VCP process.
Yeah. And again, folks, if you're saying VCP, what's that? Go to one of our shows. And Ivan talked quite detailed about VCP. And go to ivanmisner.com. There's articles around that also on there. So, Ivan, once again, now let me ask you, one bonus. Is there a fifth? You gave us 4. Is there a fifth that the audience can take and learn?
Always, always, always. You're surprising me with this one, but I got to pick.
Yeah.
Always honor the relationship. I'll give you a quick story.
Yeah.
An example. This is an absolutely true story. You're going to think I'm making this up, and I'm not.
Okay.
We had someone invited their networking partners, their referral partners, to her birthday.
Okay.
Okay, great. So, people show up for a birthday. And the person who told me this story said that he was walking up to her front door and he looked through the window, and there was this guy standing there with a flip chart, and he's doing this, pyramid thing that shows all of these connections. And he said, "What is that?" Yeah. And he went in. It was a direct selling, multi-level marketing pitch. And the only food they had were the drinks, the shakes, the nutritional shakes.
Oh my God.
So, there was no appetizers. And he said, I really felt that she abused the relationship.
Yeah.
These are your referral partners. However you do it, don't abuse the relationship. You want to maintain that relationship. That was probably one of the worst abuses of a referral relationship I'd ever seen.
Wow. Ivan, always a pleasure to have you on Small Talk. Thank you so much. We talked about the 4 with the bonus 5 networking mistakes. Please, you're watching this show. We've got Ivan's contact information. Also go to ivanmisner.com. If you are wanting to understand what BNI is all about, go to bni.com. Perhaps there is a BNI in your area, your community. Reach out, and good opportunity for you to build a network the way Ivan has built for the last 33 plus years, these BNI groups globally. We were having a chit chat offline in terms of where these chapters or these BNI chapters are going, and they are growing ever so fast. So certainly go to bni.com, take a look at that. Ivan, once again, thanks again for being on Small Talk, and I'm sure we will see you very soon.
Thank you, my friend. I'm happy to be on.
Thank you to Dr. Ivan Misner of BNI for being on Small Talk. You can also listen to the show as part of our podcast series. Now it's your turn. Please comment, subscribe, and share. If you've got a topic you'd like to discuss on the show, please give me a call or send me an email. We'll talk with you next time.